And basically, trying to find ways to do that, because I feel like that's what's happening in art right now.
Love of work, in my experience, could at best make one halfway.
Our last story tonight is about a 4-year-old child, a young scion, a budding nasal digger, and apparently the protege of the world's richest man. I'm talking about A12.
Imagine loving the world's most enigmatic billionaire, only to find he's entangled with a woman who destroyed Johnny Depp. That's the heart-wrenching story of Grimes, Elon Musk, and Amber Heard, a love triangle that cost Grimes her trust, her career, and her heart. From secret penthouse meetings to a song that exposed it all, this saga is a roller coaster of betrayal and power. If you're obsessed with celebrity scandals that shake the elite, hit that super thanks button to fuel our deep dive into this unforgettable drama. Buckle up, you won't believe how this ends.
It began with a tweet in 2018. Elon Musk, Tesla's visionary, posted about the Roko's basilisk meme, a blend of AI theory and dystopian art. The podcast we're diving into reveals Grimes had used that exact meme in a 2016 music video. Elon, intrigued, messaged her. Their connection was instant, an interdisciplinary event, as the host calls it. Grimes, real name Claire Boucher, was a Canadian singer with a futuristic aesthetic, speaking in quantum physics. Elon, CEO of SpaceX and Neuralink, lived for logic. I create with AI, he controls it, Grimes once said. Their 2018 Met Gala debut stunned the world. Elon in a sleek tux, Grimes in a custom AI symbol necklace he designed. X-posts with 6 million views called them the ultimate power couple. But beneath the glamour, tensions brewed. He craved order, she thrived on chaos, the podcast notes. Their shared hatred of normalcy birthed XAE12, their son, in 2020. Yet a shadow loomed. Amber Heard, the Aquaman actress with a dark past, was about to rewrite their story.
Grimes wasn't just Elon's partner, she was a pioneer. Born in 1988 in Vancouver, she blended synth pop with transhumanist themes, crafting albums like Visions that defined underground music. The podcast praises she was untouchable, inimitable. By her 20s, she was a global sensation, using AI to process vocals and engine sounds for beats. Her 2016 video, featuring the Roko's basilisk meme, caught Elon's eye. She wasn't chasing fame, the host says. She was creating a new world. Her personal life was quieter, but bold. Before Elon, she dated musician Devin Welsh, shunning Hollywood's spotlight. By 2018, she was a cultural force, headlining festivals and collaborating with artists like Janelle Monáe. Grimes was art incarnate, the podcast notes. But her love for Elon, a man who saw emotions as code, pulled her into a game she didn't fully understand. Was she ready for the billionaire's world, or destined to be outplayed? In 2016, while Grimes was building her career, Amber Heard entered Elon's orbit. The podcast drops a bombshell. Amber was still Johnny Depp's wife when she let Elon into her penthouse. Court testimony from Depp's 2020 trial revealed Amber granted Elon access to her Eastern Columbia building elevator, often late at night. Security logs confirmed Elon arrived after midnight, leaving before dawn. She used Depp's name as a shield, the host says, citing Depp's lawsuit. Grimes, unaware, was in Los Angeles working on music. X-posts later speculated, with 7 million views, Amber didn't chase Elon, she timed it. By 2018, as Grimes and Elon fell in love, Amber's shadow lingered. Text messages from Depp's trial, dated May 2016, showed Elon pleading, "Your silence hurts me." The podcast asks, was Elon already torn? Amber's presence, subtle but deliberate, set the stage for a betrayal that would shatter Grimes's trust. In late 2019, Grimes discovered she was pregnant with XAEA12. The podcast reveals she kept it secret, unsure of Elon's commitment. Alone in her studio, she posted a cryptic Instagram baby bump photo, sparking rumors.
Meanwhile, Elon's texts to Amber continued, uncovered in Depp's trial. "Even if you don't want me, the offer stands," he wrote. The podcast speculates, what was he offering? Grimes, trusting Elon's love, didn't know he was entangled elsewhere. X posts with 5 million likes questioned, why didn't Grimes name the father? Her silence fueled speculation. The podcast notes she was protecting her heart. As she prepared for motherhood, Amber's late-night visits persisted per security logs. Grimes thought she was Elon's future, the host says, but Amber was his past he couldn't erase. The pregnancy, meant to solidify their bond, instead exposed cracks that would soon break them.
July 2020. Depp's defamation trial against Amber Heard changed everything. The podcast recounts, Elon's name appeared 36 times. Witnesses testified he visited Amber's penthouse after her fights with Depp, including post-Australia bottle-throwing incident. Security footage backed it up. Grimes, in a New York studio, live-streamed the trial through headphones. She didn't cry, the host says, citing a friend. She went silent for 3 days. The trial was a public gut punch. X posts with 10 million views screamed, Elon betrayed Grimes. Grimes didn't confront him. She didn't need to. The evidence, texts, logs, testimony was undeniable. She realized she didn't know him, the podcast notes. Her trust shattered, Grimes began writing Player of Games, a song that would become her rawest farewell. The podcast asks, how do you love someone who's already gone?
December 2021, Grimes released Player of Games, a synthwave cry from a space cockpit. Lyrics like, "Baby, how can I compare to the adventure out there?" cut deep. The podcast calls it a musical indictment. Fans on X, with 12 million views, knew it was about Elon. She wasn't just singing, she was exposing him, the host says. Elon's vague tweet, "I'm building the future one move at a time," only fueled the fire. The song went viral on TikTok, not for dances, but for its raw pain. Grimes lost the game. One post with 8 million likes read. The podcast notes, she didn't name Elon, but she didn't have to. Her bio update, "I lost, but I played with my heart," broke fans. It wasn't just a breakup, the host says. It was a reckoning. Grimes' art became her voice, but at what cost to her soul?
Weeks later, Elon spoke. "Grimes and I are semi-separated. We still love each other, co-parent, but work keeps us apart." The podcast scoffs. It was too clean. He never mentioned Amber, nor the trial's revelations. X posts with 9 million views called it damage control. Grimes had already moved to a Venice Beach apartment with XAE-A12, away from Elon's mansion. She wasn't staying, the host says. A SpaceX insider leaked. Elon wasn't heartbroken, he just wanted silence. His narrative painted Grimes as a friend, Amber as a ghost. But fans didn't buy it. Grimes' music spoke louder, the podcast notes. Her silence, paired with Player of Games, turned public opinion. X posts rallied. Grimes deserved better, with 11 million likes. The semi-separation was no closure. It was Elon rewriting the story.
Before Elon, Grimes was a music pioneer, blending AI and transhumanism into pop. Post-breakup, her art faded from focus. The podcast laments, she became Elon's ex. New singles flopped, media only cared about her as XAEA-12's mother. A Toronto show drew cameras not for her music, but for gossip. Her identity was hijacked, the host says. X posts with 7 million views asked, who was Grimes before him? A producer friend revealed she felt detached, like her art was swallowed by Elon's gravity. Elon never defended her. No tweets, no statements. He let her drown, the podcast notes. Grimes' career, once a beacon of innovation, became a footnote in a billionaire saga. The podcast asks, can she reclaim her voice, or is she forever tied to his shadow? Amber Heard's story diverged sharply.
Post-Depp trial, her reputation collapsed. The podcast details she went from Aquaman star to public enemy. X posts with 15 million views branded her toxic, with hashtags like #Amber Heard is a liar trending. She fled to Spain, changed her name, and dodged cameras. She didn't just lose, she was erased, the host says. Elon stayed silent, never addressing their past. Unlike Grimes' quiet exit, Amber's was loud and messy. She was swept away by her own storm, the podcast notes. Rumors of a new life, new hair, new identity swirled. But X posts mocked. She's hiding, but not forgotten. The podcast questions, did Amber play Elon, or was she another casualty of his indifference? Her silence, like Grimes's, spoke volumes, but for different reasons.
Elon emerged unscathed, launching Cybertrucks and tweeting Mars memes. The podcast notes he never apologizes. His relationships, Tallulah Riley, Amber, Grimes, ended with him moving on, while others paid the price. Elon doesn't hurt intentionally, an insider says, but he doesn't care who falls. X posts, with 10 million likes, called him the ultimate player. His silence on Grimes and Amber was strategic, not emotional. The podcast asks, does Elon love or just calculate? His empire, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, thrives, untouched by personal chaos. Grimes lost her career, Amber her reputation, but Elon's narrative remains pristine. He's a system, the host says. You're either in it or erased. The triangle exposed his detachment, but left him standing taller than ever.
XAEA12, born into this chaos, remains a question mark. The podcast wonders, what does it mean to grow up between art and tech, love and betrayal? Grimes shields him, raising him in Venice Beach, away from Elon's spotlight. She's protecting his future, the host says. X posts speculate with 5 million views. Will X be an artist or a mogul? His name, a code, symbolizes the clash of his parents' worlds. The podcast concludes, this isn't just a love story, it's a warning. Elon's choices reshaped lives, but XAEA12's future is unwritten. Will he inherit Grimes's heart or Elon's logic? The saga, the host warns, will echo in him. The world watches, wondering who this child of chaos will become.
What's your take? Did Elon Musk betray Grimes, or was Amber Heard the real player? Is Grimes a victim, or did she choose the wrong game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're dying to hear. Smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for more jaw-dropping celebrity exposés. This drama's far from over, and you don't want to miss what's next. If this saga broke your heart, show some love with a super thanks. It keeps us uncovering the elite's darkest secrets. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.